Part 1 of DXing Made Easy by Victor Goncharski, US5 Whiskey Echo.
My name is Victor Goncharski. I'm US5 Whiskey Echo. I hold the DXCC Honor Roll mixed and phone and the DXCC Honor Roll on CW except of one country, which is North Korea. When we are talking about DXing, we think it in terms of working countries, zones, states, US counties, islands, or some other interesting long-distance stations. Let's make this work easy. And to make this easy and pleasant, we must remember that magic word, La Poêle, I would call it, and it's just an abbreviation of the certain ingredients that will allow you to work the DX in the most efficient way. It is location, antenna, propagation, operator and operating techniques, equipment, and sometimes luck. When we're talking about locations, we think in terms of a dream one, like a hilltop location, which is of course the best, both for HF and VHF. But there are other options. The flat top location is also acceptable for HF DXing. Even the one in the center of city, surrounded by the concrete blocks, sometimes allows the operator to work DX. And remember, the most important, of course, is to be able to listen to the station and to copy the station you want to work with. When we talk in terms of antennas, the very nice book of one of my teachers, Jerry Kingby, 3GK, comes to my mind. And there in this book, he writes about the basic rule that says that dBs are really hard to come by. With a 0 dB level, which means 100 watts from a transceiver and a dipole, it is easy to reach the 17 dB plus with 1 kilowatt amplifier and 3-element monoband Yagi. But if you want to go 2 dBs more, you need a 6-element monobender, which is a monstrous structure. So generally 17 dB plus is enough for successful DXing, but please remember that the antenna has to be resonant and has to be monoband, and this is a key to success in DXing. All kinds of compromised wires like tri-benders, W3DZZ, G5RV are definitely the best bed choices and will not give you any success in DXing. Exception to this multiband dilemma is of course the quad. Quad antenna is very efficient even at low height. It could be easily made from available materials, and it could be rotated by hand if installed on a small mast. And I used several interesting antennas that I will present in the next part of this speech. I used these antennas for working many DXpeditions for the last several years, and it was always easy to work. So we start with the basic design, which is simply a 2-element wire, Yagi for 40 meters. Both dipoles are attached to the 20 feet or 6 meter boom, which is attached to the rope and can be pulled up and down along the 50 meter mast. 15 meter mast is kind of a minimum which which is quite effective even at that low height. The two-element antenna for 40 meters works very efficiently. And there are two coax cables running from both dipoles, and the length of the coax is 36 feet according to Kilo 1 Whiskey Alpha, who actually designed this kind of antenna array of vertical dipoles for 40 meters. You can choose the direction by just reconnecting the main feed line to this coax or to this coax. And you have two directional antennas. You can do this either by relay or by hand. When you work DX on 40 meters, you want to work him on 30 meters. And then what you want to do is just add the 10 meter piece of wire to both 40 meter dipole elements. In this case, you have two-element 30 meter delta loop. Very effective antenna, and also bidirectional. You connect the coax here, or you may able to tune the antenna by connecting some reactance to the passive elements coax and make it even more effective. Then, after you working the 30 meter DX, which will be easy, I assure you, you don't want to work it on 20 meters. So just remove the 10 meter piece, connect the ends of the 40 meter dipoles together, and you have two-element 20 meter quad. For sure you'll work the DX easily on 20 meters afterwards. Another antenna that I built and using it up to now is the 30 meter two-element Moxon antenna. The original idea was found at the OH2 Bravo Echo November site, and actually made it using the same technique as he does. There are 4 fishing poles, each one is 6 meter long. You remove the top sections, which is very thin, and put the wire inside. There is a driven element and reflector element. So you need just a 4 meter boom, 2 aluminum angles, 4 fishing poles, and 2 plastic insulators. And you have the cardioid pattern antenna, input impedance 50 ohm, and all DX that I heard answered me, well, after 1 or 2 calls. It was marvelous. It's just a simple and effective antenna. Another antenna that I can recommend was designed by V3 Bravo Whiskey Kilo when he was on duty as a UN employee on Golan Heights. As far as I know, Dale never published this design, but it really gave him an outstanding signal on 80 meters. The antenna consists of 2 sloping dipoles and the common delta loop reflector for the given band. So the length of the delta loop is 5% longer than the resonant frequency of the active elements, and you can switch 2 directions, east or west, for instance. The only requirement that you need to disconnect both the shield and the central connector of the coaxes, otherwise the front to back will deteriorate. And the pattern looks like this, and antenna is working very effectively for DX. I can recommend it.
Victor Gonczarski, US5 Whiskey Echo, is a well-known DXer, and he wanted to share his experiences in successful DXing made easy. And he made this video while visiting the United States at the Foundation for Amateur International Radio Service headquarters in Floyd, Virginia.